Target recently made an announcement that they will be rolling back its their diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives. That in and of itself is a bizarre choice, right? Why are you announcing this? But they did. They said that their specific initiatives, like hiring and promoting more women and members of racial minority groups, that includes LGBTQ plus veterans, folks with disabilities, and even recruiting diverse suppliers. All of it, they're saying they're not going to do anymore. Now we know why. It's the political climate. They don't want to be seen as quote unquote woke, which is just white racist secret agent talk for nigga. They, like many companies, announced their DEI initiatives when it was au courant, when it was popular to do so. They announced that they were down with the cause. Some companies announced they were down with the cause and showed up with no money. They never followed through. Others followed through, and now they're cutting. Target is one of the latter. Enter Tabitha Brown. She has worked with Target since 2022. She's partnered with them on swimwear collections, home goods collections, hair care, cookware, food, all kinds of stuff, including her brand Donna's Recipe, right? Well, they said they cutting it. They said they cutting it the way Walmart is cutting away, Amazon is cutting away, McDonald's is cutting away, Ford is cutting away, Harley Davidson is cutting away, John Deere is cutting. They said we cutting. And so people said, well, if y'all cutting, we boycotting. If y'all cutting, we're boycotting. This was the response. Well, Tabitha Brown said, hey, everybody, slow down. Before you boycott us, before you boycott Target, I want you to think about something. And so Tabitha Brown says, let me see if I can pull this up for y'all.
In a tough week, right? And baby, it's been a tough 2025 and we are still in January. But I know many of you are asking and have asked and sent me messages about the recent DEI announcements at Target as well. And as disheartening as it is for me, I'm not the only one affected by this, right? It's for everyone who is a woman-owned business, minority-owned businesses, Black-owned businesses. It's for so many of us who work so very hard to be placed into retail, to finally be seen and approved for retail. Because contrary to whatever the world might tell you, it has been very hard for Black-owned businesses to hit shelves, right? Which is why it's such a big deal when we do finally land inside of retail. So it is definitely heartbreaking to feel unsupported, right? However, I am in business in multiple ways with Target, with Walmart, and Amazon, right? I sell Donna's Recipe, my hair care products, right, are on Amazon. They're also in Target. And of course, I have a huge partnership with Target. I sell my seasonings at Walmart. I do business all over, just like many other people. And what I can tell you is, if we all decide to boycott and be like, no, we're not spending no money at these organizations. Listen, I get it. And if that's how you feel, honey, I 1000% get it. But so many of us will be affected and our sales will drop. Our business will be hurt. And if any of you know business, it doesn't just happen overnight where you can just go take all your stuff and pull it off the shelves. There's a process. And then you got to, like, where are you going to put it? You got to have a place to store it. That's money, right? You got to have another place to sell it, which is almost impossible sometimes. And even if you sell online, it's a process when it comes to business. And everyone does not have the funds or the means or the availability, the space to house their own products, right? But the thing that concerns me the most, and I want you to hear me and hear me well, if we all decide to stop supporting said businesses and say, you know, I can't buy nothing from there, even the businesses who were affected by the DEI ban, right? What that does is you take all our sales and they dwindle down. And then those companies get to say, oh, your products are not performing. And they can remove them from the shelves and then put their preferred businesses on the shelves. And then what happens to all the businesses who've worked so hard to get where they are? Then what happens, right? Now, I know that something that could solve it is ownership of these big corporations, right? It's a long way to go there. There are amazing companies like the Village Market in Atlanta, right, who support small businesses, and you can go in there and there's some amazing things that you can buy, but it's one store and it's very small. We're talking about mass market. You can't build that overnight. Do we all sometimes have these big dreams and aspirations to do that? Absolutely, right? But it is easier said than done, but it's not impossible. But until then, and in order to get there, we unfortunately have to play the game. And in playing that game, we got to be smarter than the ones who think they're in control, okay? And I say that to say, don't allow trying to be mindful with how I say this, because I want God to give me the right words, but don't allow foolishness to take us into separation and weed us out. Do you understand? Because sometimes that's what they want. And in times like this, they're telling us that. Okay? So as frustrating as listen, as frustrating as the whole situation is, as frustrated as I am, as all of you are, we still got to be smart. Now, you can still go into those stores if you choose to and buy specific brands that you want to support and let the other things, right, not get your money. But be very specific. There's so many women, right, that have worked hard to be a woman-owned business. Donna's Recipe is two women, me and Gina Wu is my business partner. We are self-funded. We're self-funded. And we are on shelves in limited doors at Target, right? Other companies, right? There's a Black History Month is coming right now, and all of these brands are about to be showcased, some of them for the first time. And of course, they would do something like this right now, but they still need their moment. They still need our support. Only if you feel like you can and are willing to. I ain't telling you what to do. I'm telling you what, as a business owner, what we still need until we can get to another place, right? And I don't know when that other place will be. I know for me, I'm under contract. I'm gonna give it to you 100. I got another year. Then I make a decision. Okay. So So many other businesses are just starting. They're just getting in. This is their big break to go to the next whatever phase of their business there may be. We have to have understanding and compassion for each other and not be in an emotional state, but also a smart state. Because if we start doing I'm not shopping there, and it's our businesses that are in there, that's their way that they will clean us out and replace us and say, well, your business is not performing. That's what people want. We can't give them what they want. Okay? I hope that this is making sense for somebody. And I know it's a long video, and I know
it's not making sense to anybody. Not anybody who thinks this is dumb. This is ridiculous. And look, and I like Tabitha Brown a great deal. And I admire so many things about her, and I'm inspired by so many things about her. And so I was a little bit surprised to see this response, although maybe I shouldn't have. I've never heard Tabitha Brown speak out on these kind of political issues, these type of economic issues, specifically these types of labor issues before. So it's always telling if someone speaks out about labor only as it pertains to their wealth. Effectively, what Tabitha Brown is saying is you can have a boycott, but don't boycott the Black people. Don't boycott the women. Don't boycott us because, you know, that's what they want you to do. They want you to fall into this trap, and then we get divided. Don't be so emotional. There's a lot of condescension in this. Although it's shrouded in certain kind of flowery, loving, self-help, spiritual language, it's still like, don't be dumb, y'all. Y'all don't know what y'all doing. Y'all so angry. Y'all getting wound up. Don't be dumb. Keep buying. This is, and a few people said this in the comments. This is the problem with the Black excellence rhetoric. It's bound up in an investment in a very small slice of people doing really well at the expense of others. The boycott is designed to force Target to have better hiring practices, to have better labor practices, to invest in Black and brown and queer, etc. businesses across the board because they're getting locked out of economic opportunity. Now I understand what she's saying. She's saying if you boycott this thing, they'll just use it as a pretext to not let anybody else in because they'll say y'all not selling. Well, first, maybe Target shouldn't be the place we should be looking for that. Second, that's bullshit. They know that they know their numbers. They know their internal numbers. They know the numbers dropped because people boycotted. And if they want to use it as a pretext to not have Black folk in it, then you respond by saying, well, then we won't buy unless you have Black folk here. Again, a boycott. We vote with our dollars. And when you tell us to boycott except for you, what happens is that logic prioritizes your individual well-being or our investment in your individual well-being. Again, the Black excellence rhetoric, we need her to win at the expense of all these other people who are getting screwed over. Now, personally, I would love to see this boycott, not just to have more diverse hiring practices or to have more diverse vendors, which I think is fine, but it still leans into a certain kind of identity politics that comes to me at the expense of a deeper political economic analysis. Let me put it more simply. We should be thinking about how to distribute wealth differently. We should be thinking about how to promote access to capital for poor people. We should be figuring out how working class people can get living wage jobs. We should be thinking about all this stuff, and our economic energy and our investments should be focused in such a way that we hold back our money. We hold back our dollars to ensure that everyday working people get living wage jobs, get access to capital. That's what we should really be thinking about if we're going to mobilize our energy. But that's another story for another time. At the core here is the idea that if we're going to boycott, You don't boycott with exceptions. You don't say, "Oh, we're going to boycott Target, but let's leave out the black ones. Or we're going to boycott Walmart, but let's leave patty pies alone." No, because those black people, first of all, those black people in those stores are elites for the most part. Not all of them, but a lot of them are elites. So it's not that I don't care about the black business owners. It's not that I don't care about Tabitha Brown or whomever. I do care about Tabitha Brown and I care about her business. But I don't care about her business more than I care about the plight of everyday working people. I don't care about her plight over the masses of black people. And we do a disservice and a disrespect to our tradition of labor organizing, our tradition of strikes, our tradition of withholding our labor when we say, well, we can have a partial boycott. We can have picks. Nah, we can't have no picks here. You imagine? We're gonna have a Montgomery bus boycott, but if you're really tired, you can sit. Oh, we have a Montgomery bus boycott, but we'll get on the bus with the black driver. I mean, what are we talking about? What are we talking about? Either you're boycotting or you're not. I'd rather y'all say, look, I don't want to boycott. I like Target too much. I don't want to boycott. I fuck with Amazon too hard. I would rather you say I'm not going to do it than to decide to redefine what it is in such a way that it has no political teeth. This is what neoliberalism pushes people into. So now everybody's walking around strutting, oh, I'm a boycotter. I'm a boycotter. I boycott Amazon, except when I need a book from so-and-so. Or I'm boycotting Target, except for when I get my Tabitha Brown paprika. What? Then you're not boycotting because Target is still making the money. Target is still getting the money from these people, all these black people. That you think you're helping. You're helping them a little bit, but remember, the relations of capital are already topsy-turvy. That black person, that black business owner that you think you're helping by basically scabbing and undercutting a boycott, you're helping that black person this much, you're helping Target this much. It just doesn't work. It just doesn't work. And this Evil Genius is right. Y'all stop capping. It's Target. No way you're getting in there as a regular working class person. That's my point. It's not like, well, there are these small black business owners that are going to get hurt. If you got a damn business where your products are being sold in Targets across the country, you're not like us. That's not a diss. I want you to succeed. I'm just saying, let's not pretend that you're the ant getting crushed. You're bigger than the ant if you're Tabitha Brown. And yes, I don't want Tabitha Brown to lose, but I don't want I'd rather have Tabitha Brown take a hit and not have a place to store. You know what I'm saying? Her products, as she pointed to, if it can help the masses of people. That's what we're over here talking about. That's what we should be over here talking about. Brittany J, thank you. So, no, I'm sorry, Tabitha Brown. If there's a strike, we're not crossing the picket line for you. If there's a boycott, we're not breaking our buying practices for you. If there's resistance, we're not going to stop resisting for you. We're not. We can't. Tabitha Brown. It frustrates me so much. Someone said, y'all give me an example when a boycott actually worked this century. If you mean like the 21st century, the last 25 years, I mean, damn, that's a little bit tougher, but I mean, it could start with BDS. BDS was working. It's certainly a boycott that has worked. The pressure that's being applied to Israel is working. Starbucks, if you don't think that boycott is working right now, I think you should pay just a little bit more attention. If you look at the Nestle boycott,